stay in that stuck position of blame and complain, I'm losing time. I'm losing energy. Time is slipping through my fingers. The problem is that if I've wasted an hour, it's never going to come back again. An hour lost, how do you catch it? The next hours I can learn and do better, but I can't capture that lost hour. A lost day, a lost week, a lost month. It's a huge treasure that I haven't been able to keep with me or use in a benevolent way, a beneficial way. And so it's very important that before I take a decision, I should be able to know myself deeply enough so that I can actually know probably what I'm going to feel like as a result of carrying out the decision I've made. And so I'd like to say that the first step of coming to self-managing leadership is to know myself. I need to know myself very well without any excuses along the way. And no one can say, I don't have time to get to know myself. Why? Because it's not a question of carving out an hour or half an hour or 15 minutes. It's something that's there with you, and you're reflecting on it as the day progresses. And it's a topic that's prevalent in your mind, has taken on a priority in your mind. I need to know myself. What was my motive in doing something? What were the results that I was expecting? And how come I'm not coping with what is the reality of the situation? And so when the sages of the past have said, to know yourself is to resolve the biggest mystery of all, it is actually very true. To know God is easy. God is transparent. God will reveal himself, herself in a very lovely way so that we understand who is God very, very clearly. But to know myself takes time to dig through all the different layers. What I think of myself and what I am truly might be a world apart. And so gradually I deal with the excuses, no time, too busy, my expectations of what I expected of others, or even the expectations I had of myself. And of course, I have to see, why is it that I wasn't able to see myself deeply enough, clearly enough, to be able to predict what my responses were going to be? And so, really, really important to spend time exploring what has happened and asking myself the question, what could I have done differently? Not what could I have done to make it better? Maybe that's not reasonable. The outcome was whatever was possible. There was no other possible outcome. But let me remove the masks that I've put on, firstly, to protect myself from others. But also, I keep those masks on when I'm looking at myself and I'm not understanding myself very well. And so let me remove those masks. And when I can remove those masks, then what I'm going to be able to do is to see myself from both levels. One level is the positive, what are the qualities that I bring to the situation, but also I can see the negatives. What is it within my character that I need to give attention to in terms of being able to do things better? And so see the light side. And generally speaking, it's better to see the light side first and then the dark side. If I only look at the dark side, there's a huge amount of insecurity that comes in, and I'm not very comfortable with myself. But if I can see the light side first, I'll be able to see the beauty of the original soul. I'll be able to see the highest qualities that reside within me. And then in that situation, then to open up and see the dark side means that I have enough confidence in myself to know I'll be able to deal with everything on the dark side. And so make time for yourself. It's not selfish. It's the first step towards being able to fulfill responsibility to others. If I don't know myself, I'm never going to be able to fulfill responsibility to me. And so, how can I fulfill it to anybody else? And they'll sense this, they'll pick it up. So, very, very important. Let's take another scenario. I had wanted something for myself, and I knew it was for myself. I wasn't putting any masks on it and pretending it was for somebody else. But somehow it didn't materialize in that way. And so what happened? Can I again take a bit of time to understand what's going on inside of me? And probably what I'll find is that whatever it is I'd wanted, whether it was something physical or whether it was something that was situational, I wanted to go here, I wanted to do this, and all of that. So it's not a thing, but it's a situation. But whatever it was, let me ask myself, was there a need or was it simply my desire? And once I can separate these two things out, I needed to go somewhere. There was a purpose, there was a reason, and I needed to go. On the other side, it was my desire to go there. There wasn't a specific purpose. Yes, of course, it would have been good, but it wasn't a need. And yet I wanted. And so, whether it was wanting to buy a pair of shoes that I don't need, definitely, or wanting to go somewhere because I wanted, not because there was a need. So, think about all the desires that maybe get fulfilled sometimes, but maybe don't get fulfilled sometimes. And when there isn't that fulfillment of the desire, there's a discontent that comes in. And how do I deal with that? Again, two different ways. One is the moan and groan and the whinging and the complaints. Didn't happen like this. I wish it had. Why didn't it not? So and so didn't cooperate. It didn't work out. All that sort of stuff is going on. And while I'm creating all that dust, it's actually preventing me from seeing any reality. What happens when your eyes get filled with even a speck of dust? A little bit of dust comes and you rub it and it seems to go deeper rather than come out, and your eyes start watering, it hurts, it pains, and it creates a lot of trouble. Just a tiny speck of dust. And now, in terms of the third eye, the eye of wisdom, which isn't a physical eye, of course, it's the way in which I understand things, see things, make sense of things. So it's connected very much with the inner being and not these physical organs. It's connected with the soul itself. The power of God's love enables me to do this and makes me whole. The power of God's love ignites hope within the soul. So that I'm able to see what it is I need to do within and without, and have the courage to keep moving forward with the power of this love. And from the source comes the light of truth. And as the rays of truth reach the soul from the divine, I begin to see the layers and layers of masks that I had been hiding behind.